Hello, dears, and welcome to my musings of this week in a little bit of a different setting with a different energy. I really want to tap into the importance of life today, and it's coming out of the rites of passage celebration for Stefan Harding, who was a beautiful teacher at Schumacher College, one of the founding faculty. He passed a couple of weeks ago, and so today was a memorial celebration. And just the poems, the sharings were so profound. The work that he's left in the world. And I loved what Martin Shaw said. He said, it's easy to be a ghost, but it's harder to be a real ancestor. And having that message stay with us. And Stefan brought so much to the world around Gaia theory, around really being connected to the animate earth, being part of the earth, and not being separated as humans. And this message really resonated in the ceremony today and really touched a deep chord within me as I saw so many teachers, influential people who really shaped my path. After I left finance, I went to the spiritual world, and Schumacher College really brought that together for me. And this year also marks the year of the closing of the college in the current form. And so there's a lot of transitions happening. And what I really realized in the ceremony, and I shed a lot of tears and really went deep inside, is how would people speak about you or me on those last final moments, that celebration before he entered the earth in Sharpam? What kind of life have you lived? And it's not about living a grand purpose and, putting that great thing into the world. Because as his sharings came through, he also had his griefs. He was supported by his partner. We are human, and that humanness is the most important part. And really tapping in to see what it is that you want to create in the world. And so that was really, really profound for me today. And then we opened up a sharing circle with some of the women that I'd worked with for over 2 years, and seeing the paths and how far they've come, and just the humanness of our connection, of what our purpose is, of what our work is, of what we're living each day, was what kind of rang so deeply and true. And I opened a women's group coaching cycle last week. And when I sat in that cycle, I felt like, wow, this is what I birthed years ago, and I loved it. And this is where I am again. I want to put this into a book, into a methodology, and really just be there with the women, the pains, the transformation around it, the suffering, peeling back the layers around money, and really showing up in your fullest version of who you are. And Stefan was such a beautiful mirror today to me, that we don't have to be perfect to show up, that he showed up. He inspired so many. Someone who was very high up in the UN said, his spark is living in so many around the world. If it's one person, we spark with thousands. You have your message, and that's what I want to share. So I'm really still digesting this, and on a completely other note around the women's group coaching, a few women reached out in the last few days wanting to jump into this container. And so I feel like the group I currently opened might be a closed one, but if there's anyone else who's there, if I can form another small group of women that I can hold, then I'd be willing to take that leap, because I just think it's so important to get to the core of this and to put your gifts into the world. And it's one precious life we're living. And how do we want to spend those moments? What do we want to be doing with our time? That's a question that came very deeply today. So if any of this resonates with you, if you feel like it's your moment, please reach out. And otherwise, light a candle for those who've inspired you, who've maybe left their bodies, giving gratitude and thanks, because it's their shoulders we're standing on. And for Stefan, he was an amazing man with his music, his spirituality, and yet his scientific background, and how he saw the human world and everything as a whole, as a living being. It inspired me on new ways of economics and money and learning from the natural world. So reverence to him, to all our elders, to our ancestors, this message, and also calling that spark out in you.